Welcome to the Don't Quit podcast by TyypoPrints. This is episode 15, Why Getting Fired Was the Best Thing to Happen to Me, written by Darrell Thompson. I'm your host, Nick Mann. Darrell can remember the 3 conversations like they happened yesterday. You're a nice guy and a good leader, but we're letting you go. I don't think you're a good fit because you're too much of a Hilton guy, so we're going in another direction. The owner thinks that you could have done a better job, so we're firing you. Each of those sentences changed Darrell's life in a good and a bad way. The first sentence was after he received his first manager position in hotels. He loved the job, loved everyone he worked with, but his style and his boss's style didn't mesh, and knew sooner or later he was going to get the pink slip. The second was after a few months in another hotel management position that honestly blindsided him, because nothing Darrell did to that point showed poor job performance, but accepted it and moved on. The third was just a few months ago. After getting the highest position he had ever received, general manager of a hotel, his salary became too much for an owner losing money in his investments by the day. Why does he bring these moments up? They are all key reasons on why Darrell continued to strive to become better as an employee, father, and husband. He's been married for 2 years to his lovely wife, Jessica. They met 7 years ago and have 6 beautiful kids. When Darrell got fired in July, the first thing he thought was, what's he gonna do? Relocating to Texas in January was a huge risk, and now he was unemployed with a pregnant wife and 7 mouths to feed. The next day, he went out to find another job. Why? Because he couldn't fail his family. Darrell had to prove those owners and managers wrong, and because he wanted to stay relevant in an industry that can pass you by quickly. He doesn't believe those managers care at all what he was up to, and he wouldn't expect them to. But the chip on his shoulder will stay with him until he reaches the goal he wants to achieve. By accepting an entry-level job at a local hotel, he had somewhat of an epiphany that your life should not revolve around the work you do. Working 50 to 55 hours a week, making owners hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, while Darrell got yelled at over policies and procedures out of his control, was not what he wanted out of his life. He wanted to spend time with his family, watch his kids grow up and enjoy their youth, and become a better parent. He also realized quickly that he loved to talk about the hotel industry, sports, and his kids. So Darrell took a huge risk and decided that outside of working his 6 to 2 shifts, he wanted it to be a freelancer writer on the side. His wife, always supportive, was skeptical at first because he get these quick rich schemes in his head and gave up fairly quickly. Darrell reassured her this wasn't the case, and even landed a full-time writing gig for a sports website. It's not going to solve all their problems, but it will put a dent in a few bills. This will hopefully lead to more work and a growing portfolio in the sports industry. Allowing his wife to stay at home with the kids and focus on school is the key motivation he needs right now. Darrell wants her to not only worry about the past bill, but also to be able to afford one of his kids' new pair of shoes, which they seem to go through every few months. Darrell makes sure that he's reading or writing something every day about the hospital industry, marketing, and business content. When his kids ask him to buy something and he says he can't afford it, that's another big motivator. Every parent wants their kid to have a better life, and they did. And Darrell made a promise to himself to not give up on this dream. You can find motivation in the biggest moments of your life, or even the smaller ones. Just find something that makes you want to get up at 6 a.m., make your bed, walk into your office, and get to work. Darrell is traveling to New York in a few weeks to hope finding a job so he can relocate to New York and plan and stop all 30 major hotels in the Syracuse area. Why? He's motivated to find a job. He doesn't ever plan on living somewhere and not have a stable income coming in. So getting on the Greyhound job list will not be an option. If his kids, wife, and former boss didn't moat him already, nothing being deemed a failure to himself will keep the competitive juices flowing. Thank you for listening to this episode. I'm Nick Mann, and you just listened to the Don't Quit podcast by TyypoPrints. If you'd like to contact me, send me an email at nick@TyypoPrints.com. That is TYYPO Prints. Also, I encourage you to rate the show on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and share with your friends. TyypoPrints makes dreamers into doers, and we have the journal for people who don't like to journal. It's called the One Step Journal, the most productive writing companion that will help you make your dreams one step at a time. Featuring over 200 pages and a gloss signature design cover created by me. You will get a weekly challenge that get you out of your comfort zone and keep track of all your habits you're building backed on science. For this special episode, use coupon code PODCAST at checkout to get 10% off at TyypoPrints.com to make your first step today.